So the topic alkene we started yesterday discussed the formation of a sigma and pi bond, and due to this formation of the pi bond, what happened? There is a restricted rotation about a pi bond. What does it mean, restricted rotation about a pi bond? When we draw the four, like example, when we show the bonds of the carbon, two of them are in the same plane. One is into the plane, another one is out of the plane. But what happened? Due to the double bond, there is a restricted rotation, like the position. If I say there is a carbon-carbon double bond. So when there is a carbon-carbon double bond, so the two bonds which are in the same plane, that is formed between the two carbon atoms, and now what is the possibility that one of the bond will be into the plane represented by a wedge, another one is out of the plane. Same thing, one is into the plane represented by the wedge and another one is out of the plane. So why we say the geometry is restricted? Example, if I was having, say, two different atoms or two functional groups, say functional group X and Y. So what are the possibility when all the four positions are available? X can be here, Y can be here, or Y can be the other side, or the Y can be at the top. So there is no restriction for the Y, and even for X can be anywhere, Y can be anywhere. But when there is a double bond, a formation of the double bond, we say that the rotation is restricted. What is the meaning of rotation is restricted? For example, what are the possibility if X is here, then Y will, if X is in, Y will be out, or if Y is in, X will be out. So there are only two possibilities for X and Y. If one of them is in, other one should always be out. So due to the presence of the double bond, the geometry is the rotation is restricted, and this leads to a formation of isomers which we call geometrical isomers. So when carbon, both cases the carbon can form four bonds, but when all the four bonds are formed in different directions, then there is no restriction of the rotation, like there is no restriction for the functional group. If functional group X is here, then Y can be anywhere. Y can be into the same plane, it can be out of the plane, the Y can be here, or Y can be at this point. But when there is a double bond, there is a restriction, rotation is restricted, and that leads to a formation of isomers which we call geometrical isomers. Is it clear the concept that why the restriction of rotation is there when a carbon-carbon double bond as compared to when carbon is forming single bond in different directions? And this leads to stereoisomerism, or which we also call, as we discussed yesterday, stereoisomerism divided into optical and geometrical. So these are known as geometrical isomers. So what happened? So geometrical isomer results due to the double bond between the carbon atom, which restrict the rotation of molecule. So how it restricts the rotation of the molecule? Example, so this is C double bonded with C. Then what are the possibility that one will be in, the other will be out. Same way, one will be in, the other will be out. So what happened, like example, if we have A here, B, and we have A at the top and B. And what is the second possibility? The second possibility is the position might change for A. Like for one it is in, the other one it is out, and for one it is in, another one is out. So this is A example B, but the other side B is up, B is in, and A is out. So when we compare, if the identical or the heavy groups, basically heavy groups, are on the same side, heavy groups refers to their mass. So if heavy groups are on the same side, what we call that as a cis or Z. And if heavy groups are on opposite side, so we call that as trans or E. So geometrical isomers are of two types. It can be cis or Z or trans or E. So how to name them, how to identify whether it is cis or trans, and then the second part is how to name them. So first we'll do examples to identify whether it is cis or trans or E or Z. So example, we have C double bonded with C. How to name, that is the secondary part, we will do that. But right now we are just identifying whether it is cis or trans. Cis means it's on the same side, cis or Z is same thing, and trans or E is the same thing. We have CH3, H, we have CH3, NH. Which isomer is this, cis or trans? So how to identify, check the heavy group. So when you check the heavy group, hydrogen and CH3, so hydrogen is a heavy group. Sorry, CH3 is a heavy group. By mistake, I said hydrogen. CH3 is a heavy group. Same thing, CH3 and H. So CH3 is a heavy group. So if the heavy groups are on the same side, then it means it is cis or Z. But if the heavy groups are on the opposite side, like C double bonded with C, so we have CH3, we have H, and here is H and CH3. So when we check, heavy group is in another heavy group, comparison is between these two. This is heavy. So if heavy groups are the opposite side, what we call that? We call that as trans or E. Same way, sometime identical groups are attached. In that case, it does not exhibit a geometrical isomer. If identical groups are attached to the carbon atom, like here is CH3, Here is H, and here we have CH3 and CH3. So when we check for the first these two, the heavy group is at top. But when we check the other part, there is no heavy group. They both have the same mass. That's why there is no heavy group. If identical groups are attached, groups of same mass are attached, so it means it does not have geometrical isomer. So it cannot be cis or trans, because when we check both carbons which are having a double bond, there should be different groups attached to them, and the heavy groups, if identical groups are on the same side, we call cis, and if they are on the opposite side, we call that as trans. Is it clear, the concept of the cis and the trans? This is how to identify. Anyone having a doubt till this point? Then how to name these? We name in the same manner. We'll select the longest chain. The numbering should start from nearest double bond. And then first use cis or trans to name them. Like example, this is a structure given. So this is how the structure is given. And we have to name. So if we select the longest carbon chain, if I select from here, so this will be 1, 2, 3, 4. If I select here 1, 2, 3, 4. If I select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our longest carbon chain. So after selecting the longest carbon chain, we number. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So third position, we have a branch. So for 5 carbon, it's pent. And third position, we have a branch. So it is 3 methyl. And 5 carbon, it is pent. And they have a single, the double bond with the second carbon. So it is pent 2 ene. So it's the same way we name, it's a 3-methyl pentoene. But whether it is cis or trans, now to first we name it, then we will identify whether it is cis or trans. So to identify cis or trans, we don't need the numbering. We just have to check the heavy groups which are attached to the carbon atoms which are having double bond. Heavy group means in terms of mass. So when we see CH3, this is heavy. Between CH3 and hydrogen, CH3 is heavy. Then the other one is CH3 and CH2, CH3. So this one is heavy. So heavy groups are on the opposite side. So what I call this? Trans or cis? So we call that as a trans, or we can also say it is E. So we will just write E3-methyl pentoene. Normally cis and trans are used for identical heavy groups. When we have the same type of heavy groups are attached, like if one side is CH3, another side is also CH3, then we use this term cis or trans. But if the different types of heavy group, like one side here in this example, a CH3 is connected, and the other side the heavy group is CH2 and CH3. So they are different masses of the heavy group, so we use the term E instead of using trans. But the same concept is there. But normally cis and trans, when the groups which are attached, the heavy groups attached to a carbon are same, and if they are different, we use, instead of cis and trans, we use Z and E. Is it clear, this example, how we name this? So same way, another example, so it's a same way we name, but the last part only addition is, so first we name this, how to name? So we select the longest carbon chain. This is our longest carbon chain. And we number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So second position, we have a double bond and there are 4 carbons, so it is butene. Now when we check the heavy group, the carbon, only the two, we check for only the carbon which are having double bond. So this is heavy and this one is heavy. So heavy groups are on the same side. If heavy groups are on the same side and identical, so we can use the term, we can say it is cis butene, or we can also say it is Z butene. But for the second example, the heavy groups are on the opposite side, so it is trans butene or it is E butene. In case when identical groups are attached, as I mentioned, when identical groups are attached to a carbon, it does not exhibit any geometrical isomer. So example, when we check, chlorine is heavy, priority group is up, and priority, so both are on the same side. So when both are on the same side, how to name this? First we name first position and second position, we have 2 chlorine, so 1,2 dichloro, and because there's a double bond and 2 carbons, so it is ethene. That's how we name. Now to check whether it is cis or trans or E or Z, so we use Z. Why? Because the heavy groups are on the same side. And this is 1,2 dichloroethene, but this is trans or E because the heavy groups are on the opposite side. Is it clear, these examples of cis and trans? The two geometrical isomers. Then the reactions of alkene, as we discussed in IGCSE, the reactions of alkene, the same reactions are there, but this time you have to learn mechanism as well. So first what we do, we will write a journal equation and then we'll write the mechanism. So what happened when alkene is there, reacted with hydrogen, this result in a formation of alkane, and the reaction is known as, the type of reaction is known as addition reaction. So ethene plus hydrogen give ethane, propene plus hydrogen gives propane. And this is called electrophilic addition reaction. Why we call that as the electrophilic addition reaction? How the reaction proceed, drawing the arrows is important. So for the alkanes, you have to learn the free radical substitution, whereas alkenes, you have to learn the mechanism of electrophilic addition reaction. What is the meaning of electrophilic or electrophile? Electrophile means electron loving, like the ion or the charge or the atom which is attracted towards the electron, we call that as electrophile. And opposite of electrophile is a term called nucleophile. The term nucleophile means nucleus loving, like, and nucleus is having a positive charge, so they are attracted towards the positive charge. And electrophiles are attracted towards the negative charge. That's why we call electrophiles or electron rich side. How the mechanism happen, how this reaction occur, as we say, alkene plus hydrogen result in a formation of alkane. So example, if we have any, is there propene is there, which is C3NH6 plus hydrogen, result in a formation of C3NH8 propane. Now the mechanism means how the reaction proceeds. So first we have a propene. Prop means three carbon, and ene means there's a double bond. And hydrogen is there. This is hydrogen molecule. Look what happened. This electron, then high electron density, the carbon-carbon double bond, they repel the hydrogen-hydrogen single bond. And they will have more repulsion to this because there are more electrons. Here we have 4 electrons, but in case of hydrogen, we have only 2 electrons. So when this double bond of the carbon and carbon repel, the electron density of hydrogen bond shifted more towards the other side. So one will become partial positive and the other will become partial negative. This is what happened initially, because hydrogen, two atoms have the same electronegativity, so there is no charge on them. But because of the carbon-carbon double bond, this double bond repel the single bond, so the side, the hydrogen which is closer to the double bond will get a partial positive because the electron is shifted towards the other side and the other will be partial negative. Then what happened? These electrons which are present, they will try to form a bond with hydrogen, and this hydrogen will take both of the electrons. That's why full arrows are there. So what will be the next stage, next step? So we'll have H, C, H, and I'm using a red color to represent that another hydrogen is added, like this hydrogen is added. So when these two electrons, the pair of electron is taken by this carbon to form a bond with hydrogen. So what will be the charge on the other carbon? Because it lost that electron, so it will get a positive charge. And that this positive charge, as there is this hydrogen was completely negative, it took both of the electrons, so this hydrogen is having a negative charge with the electron, so it is attracted towards the positive charge, and as it is attracted towards the positive charge, due to space I will draw it at the top. So what happened? The hydrogen is added to both of these carbon, which result in a formation of alkane. So alkene plus hydrogen molecule result in a formation of alkane. Is it clear? And this carbon positive, the charge here on this carbon positive, it can be other one. If hydrogen is added to the second carbon, then the charge will be on the first carbon, and that will be positive charge. Another example of this reaction, I'll repeat. Look what happened. Like we have say propene, and there is a hydrogen. So now what happens, this double bond repel the hydrogen single bond, and there will be more repulsion, which cause this hydrogen bond to shift more towards the other side, result in partial positive and partial negative. Now this hydrogen which is partial positive is attracted towards this double bond, and we call that as electrophile. So we draw the arrow from the negative side to the positive side, like the electron rich side to the electron deficient side. And the hydrogen which is there at the bottom, it will take both of the electrons. So when it will take both of the electrons, now two possibilities are there. That the hydrogen might be attached to the first carbon, this double bond will break, this is one possibility. So when the double bond will break, the hydrogen might attach to the first carbon. So if hydrogen attached to first carbon, the second carbon will get a positive charge. Or this hydrogen here might attach to the second carbon. So if it is attached to the second carbon, then the first carbon will get a positive charge. But which carbon cation is more stable? The carbon cation which is surrounded by more alkyl groups is having a greater stability. So the carbon cation surrounded by alkyl groups is more stable. So when we compare the stability, as you can see, this is a carbon cation, and this carbon cation is surrounded by two alkyl groups. Alkyl means like carbon chains, two carbon chains. This is one complete carbon chain, so it is surrounded by only one carbon chain. So this is more stable, or this will be majority, and this one is less stable, or it will be minority. Then what happened? The hydrogen negative ion which is produced having the extra electron is attracted towards the positive side. So this hydrogen which is having electron is attracted towards the positive side, and what will be the result? So it will be 1, 2 and 3 carbon atom. This will be CH, H, 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 and this will be hydrogen as well. The two hydrogens which are attached. And for other case, the hydrogen ion which was there produced in the first reaction, so the hydrogen ion which is produced in the first reaction attracted towards that carbon cation, and that result in a formation of a product. So this is a 4-mark question you will find, that showing means the correct direction for the arrows and showing the right product. This is called electrophilic addition reaction. Why we call electrophilic? Because the electrophile or electron loving species is responsible for this reaction to occur. Is it clear, this example? Any doubts? Any question or doubt till this point? Then another example, if we say propene plus hydrogen chloride or hydrogen bromide. So propene, because the alkenes addition reaction occur, so propene plus hydrogen chloride, it will produce chloropropane. Then how the reaction proceed, again the mechanism, and that is called electrophilic addition. So propene, prop means 3 carbon, and because the position, the double bond with the always with the first 2 carbon atoms, even if it's on the right or left. So this is propene reacted with hydrogen chloride HCl. But in case of HCl, because chlorine is more electronegative, so it will be partial negative, and hydrogen from the beginning will be partial positive. In the previous example, as a hydrogen, identical atoms are there in hydrogen molecule, so they were not having different charges until they will come closer to alkene. But this case for hydrogen chloride, 2 different atoms are there, difference in the electronegativity leads to distribution of the unequal distribution of the shared pair, which result in a formation of partial positive and negative. So the same way what happened, the electron rich side attract, hydrogen is attracted, the positive side attracted towards electron rich side, we call electrophile, and chlorine will take both of the electrons. So as the chlorine will take both of the electrons, then again 2 possibilities are there, one will be major. So one will be major, another one will be minor. So major one is the one in which alkyl group is, the carbon cation is formed, which is having more alkyl group. So when we complete this structure, because in exam they ask state the major product and minor product. So how you can distinguish between the major and the minor products? So if the carbon cation is formed with the second one, hydrogen will be attached with the first one. And the second possibility, if hydrogen is attached to the second one, the carbon cation is formed with the first. When we check, you can see 2 separate carbon chains are there. But here we have only one throughout, like 2 atoms are there, but there is one complete chain attached to this carbon. So carbon cation, which is surrounded by more alkyl group, it is more stable. And when it is more stable, so when the chlorine, which is having a negative charge from the first part, form a bond, here also chlorine, which is having a negative charge, will try to form a bond. So as a result, so this will be the product, chlorine attached to a second carbon, and here as a result the chlorine will be attached to the first carbon. So in exam they ask state the major product and minor product. So what is the major product, the final result? That is 2-chloropropane. So 2-chloropropane will be the major product. And what is the minor product? It will be 1-chloropropane. Is it clear? The major and the minor products. So it is very important that you understand the reaction mechanism, which is electrophilic addition reaction in alkene. So the same thing happen. You can see when bromine is there, the bromine which is facing the carbon-carbon double bond will get a partial positive and the other one will be partial negative. So it is attracted towards electron rich side, we call electrophile, and these electrons are shifted towards bromine. So which result in a formation like either right hand side will be positive or left hand side will be positive. It won't make much difference. It will be identical. So there is no major or minor product here. Major and minor product is possible when we have asymmetrical alkene which does not have any symmetry. Like if it is symmetrical alkene, there is no major or minor product. There is only one product. So partial positive and negative, that is attracted towards electron rich side. Bromine will take both of the electron. So this will be carbon positive, or second possibility that can be carbon positive, but it will not make difference. Why? Because this is a symmetrical alkene. Symmetrical means the structure is symmetry, like the carbon-carbon double bond is having a same distribution of carbon chain. So when bromine will attack, it will form a bond and this result in a formation of a final product. But when we have asymmetrical alkene, then there is a concept of the major and minor product, which leads to different, like carbon cation surrounded by different alkyl groups. Here you can see carbon cation is surrounded by two alkyl groups, and in this one it is one alkyl chain. That's why the first one is more stable, which leads to a major product. So 2-bromobutane will be major product and 1-bromobutane will be the minor product. Then propene, this mechanism you don't have to learn. Just remember, when alkene is there in the presence of acidified potassium manganate, this result in a formation of diol, and we call this reaction as oxidation reaction. Bromine plus alkene or bromine water, which is called HOBr. Bromine water is orange in color, so it decolorizes in the presence of alkene. If they say bromine, aqueous bromine, it is brown to colorless. Bromine water is orange to colorless. Then formation of addition polymer. What happened? Polymerization, when the small molecules form a long chain compound, we call that as polymer. We break the double bond and link them together, result in a formation of a long chain compound. The problems are there, disposing of these polymer, the landfill, we have, or incineration or recycling. These are the ways by which these polymers can be disposed of. So this was topic alkene. So we are done with alkene.